Hello, welcome to Africa Watch on Africa 24 Hours TV, where the world watches Africa here. My name is Amos Zegim. Uganda has a dictator. He calls himself a president. His name is Yoweri Museveni. He has ruled Uganda since 1986, nearly 40 years in power, 4 decades of broken promises, silenced voices, and blood on the streets. He came in as a liberator, but today Museveni has turned Uganda into a prison. Opposition is crushed, dissent is outlawed, and critics vanish. People are abducted, tortured, raped, and killed not for crimes, but for politics. And the story of Comrade Alexander Marinos proves it. Who was she? Not a soldier, not a rebel, not even a politician. She was a Ugandan woman. Strong and fearless, who refused to be silenced. Her only crime was playing Bobi Wine's music on loudspeakers in Mbuya on the 30th of March 2024. That was enough to seal her fate. She was abducted in broad daylight, taken to the dreaded CMI headquarters, the military intelligence unit known across Uganda for unspeakable torture. There, Alexander was beaten, tortured, and raped. This is what decent looks like on the Museveni's regime. But Alexander did not cower. She spoke without fear. Even after her release, she fled to Nairobi for safety. And when even that failed, she sought refuge at the UNHCR camp. Yet her courage stood out, and it caught the attention of Uganda's main opposition leader, Bobi Wine, the musician turned politician who has become Museveni's biggest threat. Bobi Wine visited her in hospital. Those who were present say he was visibly shaking. He stood beside her bed and said, "Alexander represents the thousands who have been brutalized by this regime." She stood without fear, and she was punished for courage. Her blood is on the hands of those who call themselves leaders. But the damage was done. Her body never recovered from the abuse she endured. And this year, Alexander Marinos died. On the 19th of August 2025, she was buried. She was laid to rest, but her story is not a rest, because Alexander's death is not an isolated case. It is a mirror of what Uganda has become. Look at the facts. In 2021, during the presidential elections, at least 54 people were shot dead when they protested Bobi Wine's arrest. The entire country's internet was switched off to block communication. Journalists were routinely harassed. Opposition leaders were put under house arrest, and torture chambers at the CMI and SIU operate with impunity. This is not democracy. This is not a stability. This is dictatorship. Dress up for the cameras. Museveni tells the world that he is a Democrat, but the truth is clear. Uganda is being ruled by fear, not by consent. And what does Alexander's story tells us? That the regime does not fear rebels or armies. It fears voices. It fears songs. It fears courage. Because courage is contagious. Alexander's courage cost her life, but it also gave Uganda a symbol. A reminder that even in the darkest time, there are those who refuse to bow. So here's the question the world must ask. How long would Yoweri Museveni get away with this charade? How long will Uganda be allowed to masquerade as a democracy where its citizens are abducted and murdered for playing music? For nearly 40 years, Museveni has clung to power. That is not leadership. That is not democracy. That is a dictatorship. Comrade Alexander Marinos is gone, but her courage remains. She spoke without fear. She lived without surrender. She died a victim of tyranny. But now, she has become something greater, a reminder that dictatorships may kill bodies, but they cannot kill the idea of freedom. You're watching Africa Watch on Africa 24 Hours TV, where the world watches Africa here. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to follow up and stay connected at Africa 24 Hours TV. And also to get more stories and news, log on to our website at www.africa24hours.com. My name is Amos Zege.